All right, this Sunday, December 8th, the Detroit Lions take on the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Let's talk about the game and how it's going to go down. And let's get into it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Share the video. It's the best way to donate to the channel. And, yeah, y'all know it don't stop nothing. Being 3 and whatever the hell we is. We're going to finish out the season strong. I only missed one Michigan game reaction. I ain't missed the Lions reaction or prediction yet, so consistency is the key. Good, bad, ugly, or anything in between we hear. But Minnesota coming off a tough loss to the Seattle Seahawks, and we know Kirk Cousins thrive on beating sub 500 teams, and they coach do too. Mike Zimmer. Loved him in Cincinnati as the defensive coordinator. Loved his philosophy. Wouldn't mind having him in here in Detroit, but he just seemed not to be able to get Minnesota over the hump in those big games. And when you got a coach that can't get over the big game and a quarterback that can't get over the big game, no matter if your defense is as good as Minnesota or your running back is as good as Dalvin Cook, you got to have a head coach or the quarterback to win those big games. And Minnesota will be a team in the middle. A team in the middle in the NFL is different from the NBA. We talk about the Pistons. You don't want to be in between being you either in the NBA you want to be really elite or you want to be really bad. You don't want to be in between because there's no parity there. NFL is different. Injuries happen all day, B. Anybody can go down. A quarterback can go down. Let's just look at the NFL playoffs right now. You got New Orleans, Seattle, San Francisco is a wild card. Minnesota probably be a wild card as well. Nobody else is close to them. Dallas probably get in because Philly, both of them and Philly suck. And then you looking at I think that's it. So at the end of the day, if Garoppolo go down, San Francisco done. If Drew Brees go down, they got a chance with Teddy Bridgewater, but I don't think it's the same chances. So 2 of the top teams go down. You know what I'm saying? And you got Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, who I forgot. Or Rodgers go down, you got a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? Especially if something happened to New Orleans or San Francisco key players. And Minnesota see Green Bay 3 times this year, and I think Green Bay won the first, and they got them coming up. It's hard to beat the team 3 times in a row. So in the NFL, it's not bad being in the middle of the road because an injury go any which way. With Minnesota, they thrive on beating teams like the Detroit Lions. And that's the God honest truth. And you're supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, if that makes sense. And that's how you get in the playoffs, because every team in the NFL not going to be above 500. But, looking at what the Lions coming off of, Chicago let down on Thanksgiving. I'll talk about Ron Rivera being fired and how the Lions need to take notice of that. But from the Panthers. But, it is what it is. This team don't have a leader. As far as the coaching staff, with Stafford being out, don't have a leader. Both the defensive coaches suck, the head coach and the defensive coordinator. Their philosophy suck, and they old, and they not going to stick in their ways. They're trying to change this franchise to the Patriots, which is not working, because then again, you have to strip all the players that are not from the Patriots and bring in new guys and rookies that fit that culture, and it's still not going to work because you don't have a Belichick, you don't have a Tom Brady. And the big brain is Belichick. Only thing that's good about the Lions this year is the way Matthew Stafford's playing and the backup quarterbacks and Darrell Bevel. But looking at this, it's gonna be a massacre. David Blog is going up against a good defense, and you'll see the difference between a Blog or a Driscoll and a Stafford this Saturday or this Sunday, because the way Minnesota defense is about to treat Blog is probably gonna be criminal. But if he ball out versus Minnesota, he might be the quarterback of the future, or the Bridge Sean Hill type of quarterback. But get into it. What the Lions got to do to win this game is pray. Minnesota thrive on beating teams like us. Blog, he got to get Galladay. He got to target Xavier Rhodes. The Lions got 2 winners. They got 3 winners out there. I like all their receivers versus the DBs of the Vikings. So what you got to do is they get in that single high look and they put Harrison Smith in the box. You got to pick up and take your shots either over the middle or over the middle in the slot with Amendola, or take your shots downfield with or underneath. In routes, speed outs, post routes, skinny post, deep end, corner post, flag route, and take your chances. I take my chances with those, to be honest. My matchups one-on-one, you want to get J.D. McKissick and Ty Johnson in space. You want to get Bo running downhill, play action, and take advantage of your matchups on the outside and the slot. And I think that's what it is. And I look to get Jesse James involved too. He a big target. Now he know he gonna get more time. I think Jesse James got a great matchup this weekend, being 6'7" against some of those Minnesota linebackers. That's good, but he gonna have probably 5-6 inch height advantage. So look out for Blog to find him over the middle, and I think you'll see upgrade from James, from Hockenson to James, just with him knowing he should get more snaps if they don't try to mix in Logan Thomas. But I think Jesse James should be the primary starter. Defensively, let's talk about the Vikings. The Vikings got to do is, not sure how Dalvin Cook's shoulder is, but they don't need him. They got the rookie Madison. Kirk Cousins should be able to have his way out there with Kyle Rudolph, Irv Smith on the Lions linebackers who can't cover. You know what I'm saying? Madison, he should run all over the defense with or without Cook. And I think, Kirk Cousins gonna do what he did last time. He gonna throw a confetti party and passes all over the defense. But defensively for Minnesota, stop the run, make David Block beat you. You know what I'm saying? And if David Block beat you consistently up and down the field, then you shake his hand. But you want to make him make timing route throws to eliminate the big play. Make him, go through his progressions underneath, play tight coverage. Don't bite on the double moves, and you got to get pressure on him. That's what it boiled down to. It's just nothing complex about how to defend David Block. Keep him in the pocket, just take away the deep shit, play tight coverage underneath, and make him go through his progressions. You know what I'm saying? What I would do is I would double Galladay and make him go through his progressions. Then that means Jesse got to step up, Amendola got to step up, and I take my chances with Amendola and Jesse over Jones and Galladay for the simple fact that Jones and Galladay can run past you. Amendola not running past nobody, and Jesse James not running past nobody. But Detroit defensively, stop the run. I'm not sure if Thielen back, but if he ain't back, I double Diggs and make Laquan Treadwell beat me, Irv Smith beat me, or Kyle Rudolph beat me. But with Kyle Rudolph or Irv Smith, they're really good targets. Irv can run by you. Kyle Rudolph a big red zone threat, but I'm taking away Diggs. Last time he torched us, and that's just how I'm rocking. I'm taking away Diggs, and if Thielen out there, you know what? I'm putting Darius Slay on Thielen. I'm doubling Diggs every time, and hopefully those sorry linebackers good enough to cover those tight ends. If they not, Kirk Cousins gonna have a field day. But it starts with stopping the run. May it be Madison and Cook, or it's just Madison back there. You got to stop the run, and you got to put pressure on Kirk Cousins, which the Lions, they don't have no pressure guys. You pay Trey Flowers all this money to rush 3 or 4 guys and not send 5 or 6 guys, and he ain't getting the job done. Every now and again, he getting pressure, but he a type of guy, he ain't LT, he ain't Von Miller, he ain't Khalil Mack, and that's why you don't pay him that type of money. You know what I'm saying? He needed Chase Young on the other side. He needed Deshaun Hand on the inside. Him and Damon Harrison not going to cut it in Devin Kennard. They not going to cut it for the defense they playing. For the defense they got to play, quite frankly, they don't have the DBs. Darius Slay, Rashad Melvin, that's cool. Justin Coleman, like I said, he is the worst coverage defender in the NFL. Tracy Walker, he is what he getting. He going to get better. You know what I'm saying? And then you continue to look at who else you got out there? You got Tracy Walker, Will Harris, Tavon Wilson. They not that good. So Kirk Cousins got matchups all over the field. Whoever Davis guarding, whoever Kennard guarding, whoever Christian Jones guarding, whoever Justin Coleman guarding, whoever the safeties guarding, not named Tracy Walker, Tavon Wilson, or Will Harris. He got just too much matchups, and then you can't stop the run. Then you don't have the pass rushers to accommodate anybody on the back end. It's gonna be Torch City. I expect Minnesota to win the game, but it wouldn't put it past me for David Block to show up and Darrell Bevel to put a great game plan together. Darrell Bevel is doing this thing. he putting great game plans together. And, you know, then the head coach, Matt Patricia, he don't even know what the fuck a game plan is. You know what I'm saying? His game plans suck. Other than a Kansas City or LA Rams came in last year, Kansas City this year, his game plan suck. And people want to say, oh, Pasqualoni is a figurehead. This is Matt Patricia defense. He paid Trey Flowers. They brought Justin Coleman in. Disappointments. Trey Flowers been okay. But for what they paid him, he ain't lived up to the bill. He ain't anchored that line. When Ziggy Ansah was healthy, when Sue left, he was by far better than Trey Flowers. He was a better football player than Trey Flowers ever be. But he ain't healthy. He wasn't healthy. But Ziggy Ansah, he anchored the line when Sue left. He had like 14.5 sacks or 12.5 sacks or something like that. When it mattered, and he was good against the run. Trey Flowers, man, I just like didn't understand why they gave him that money. That was like a fucking mistake. You should have just went to go get Khalil Mack. You know, but then you look at it in his defense, he don't have nobody else to run with. Harrison is a plugger. He not getting after no run defense and nothing like that. Continue to look at it. Hand ain't been healthy. Devin Kennard, he ain't been doing nothing as far as rushing the quarterback. So who he running with? So he the type of guy that need some help. He needs some business partners out there. But I like Minnesota 38-17. I'll be nice. That's a tough environment to go in here. And I guess they do this Scola clap or something like that. I guess they gonna clap us, but you know, it is what it is. But Minnesota not going nowhere with a coach that can't get over the big hump and a quarterback that can't get over the hump. Pretty much they got, you know, people say the line and this and that. Tom Brady, he missing linemen every year. You know, pay attention. Tom Brady be losing linemen. The kid that went over to New York, I think he had sucked. He lost other linemen, sucked when they left the New England Patriots. It's Tom Brady and Belichick and Josh McDaniels. That is a well-run organization. You know what I'm saying? They overpaying quarterbacks that ain't did nothing. Look who guys who got paid. You know, you think Philadelphia wouldn't love to have Matthew Stafford if he healthy? You think Minnesota wouldn't love to have Matthew Stafford if he healthy? You know what I'm saying? Matthew Stafford, and like I said before, my shit don't change about it. Him being here 10 years before this season and failing, any other franchise would have moved on from him. Personally for him, it's more for him. And people say, oh, you hate Stafford. I don't hate Stafford. I got a Stafford jersey. What I've said is this organization has failed to put the pieces around him to be successful. Mainly the offensive coordinator. And I say if the coordinator come in and Stafford suck again, then it's Stafford, but it's not. It was the offensive coordinator, Jim Bob Cooter, and the inability to put the personnel around Matthew Stafford. I've said it a million times. And I think it's best for Stafford, and people don't understand what I'm saying. It's best for Stafford to move on for Stafford, so he can go win something. But you got guys like Kirk Cousins out here getting a fully guaranteed contract. He sucked. Anybody that watched Michigan State football, the state of Michigan football, knew Kirk Cousins sucked. He been choking big games his whole career. You know? But hey, people want to live in the fantasy world and act like Kirk Cousins, this wonderful quarterback, and he's so great and all this. Man, we've been told y'all Kirk Cousins sucked. It's nothing new. You know, but it is what it is. Like Minnesota this weekend, when I say 38-17. Continue to watch the massacre that is known as the Lions, and then go into the season of optimism. That tis the season to be jolly for football fans. Fa la 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 la. NFL offseason. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Chase Young or the receiver from Alabama or Tua or Herbert or whoever it should be. I wish the Lions took a clue and fired Matt Patricia, but you know, it is what it is. When you and the GM sleeping together, it's tough. But I appreciate everybody for checking in. Hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. Scholar clap. Scholar clap. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the hell that shit was until somebody explained it to me. But shout out to Minnesota, you know. Shout out to that team for letting me down as a kid when they was 15-1 and lost to the Dirty Birds. Shout out to Minnesota. I used to love some Chris Carter as a kid, man. Chris Carter was my favorite receivers. He had the best hands I've ever seen over Jerry Rice. Chris Carter, one-handed grabs. Randy Moss, Robert Smith, Randall Cunningham. It was that Morton Anderson and Gary Anderson missed that kick. I hate that dude to this day because that produced the worst Super Bowl of all time. He was supposed to be Minnesota versus the Denver Broncos, Elway, Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey. Was Antonio Atwater on that team. Shannon Sharp was on that team. And they just smoked the Denver Broncos just smoked Atlanta. Atlanta wasn't supposed to be there. Had Scott Chandler, Jamal Anderson. But that Minnesota team still remains one of my favorite teams in sports. You know, that was very exciting to watch. Rookie Randy Moss, and they never was able to recapture that glory. But that was my favorite teams of all time. Yep, one of my favorite teams of all time. You know what I'm saying? I had a few favorite teams outside the line as far as the run they had that year. I had a few favorite teams. Even though I used to torch the Lions, Brett Favre and Sterling Sharp, amazing connection. I mean, some of them, one of them, that year Eric Kramer had the Lions. That was a good team, and they brought in Scott Mitchell and messed up the whole flow. Eli beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl the second time I went there, and he won me a ton of money. So that's gonna be one of my favorite teams. So NFL produced a lot of good shit, man, and I'm just hoping that the Lions one day, before my casket drop, or I'm ashes to ashes, dust to dust, can win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I think the city deserve it, and I think Martha owe it to the city to sell the team. But it's a whole nother conversation for another day. Hopefully later on, God willing, I can bring y'all some more content. Best thing you can do is hit the thumb up button, hit the subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. You want to make a donation, that link subscription. Best way to donate, share the video. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. And woo, didn't Duke put an ass whooping on Michigan State last night? Man, I would talk about that, but I'm gonna let Spartan fans rest. But I'll be covering the Michigan basketball games. We cover the playoffs too. Check my other channel out, Goodfellow Sports TV, for more sports music, news, and entertainment. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We gone.